All right. So they don't want you to have anything at all. I got to slow down. What I mean when I say that they don't want you to have anything, I mean those people who play games. Those people who play games with your time, whether it's your friends, whether it's your family, whether it's the people that you're trying to get to know romantically. Uh, those are the people that don't want you. If once they start wilding out like that, and those people act that way towards you, you got to get in their head. You got to understand it from their perspective. They don't want you to do anything, whether it's great or small. And this is why I tell y'all over here on this channel, y'all thinking that, y'all asking yourselves, well, wow, why is it that, this person or persons acts like this and they don't really, anything, it just seems like anything they have a problem with, because they do have a problem with. They have a problem with anything big or small that it is that y'all do. Because if you do something small, right, they're worried about you having the potential to become great and known and celebrated for the talent that you have displayed. If you do something great, then who told you to be greater than them? Because you didn't come up from off of their supervision. They wanted to be the ones to manage you. They wanted to micromanage you. Right? So they don't really want you to do anything, because guess what happens? If you do something small, another element of them being a little bit concerned of your potential is they're going to try to make fun of you. They're going to try to tell you, get like me, regardless of who it is. Get like me. You a small fry. You a small fish swimming through my pond. I'm the big fish here. If you get big, right? If you get big, they're going to get upset, like I said, off of the fact that they can't be there hanging out with you, right? Or in your space as you are big. So because of the fact that you didn't come up off of their lovely supervision, right? Quote unquote, air quotes, their supervision, as if it's their responsibility to micromanage you, right? And if it's their right to micromanage you. But whatever. Because of the fact that you didn't come up off of their micromanagement and hit it big and be celebrated and be known for this, right? Obviously, you have a talent. They're also going to be mad at the fact that, well, now you're stealing their light. Now you're stealing their shine. So this is why it is that I don't listen, right, to people when they start going off, they start being disrespectful. I'm not listening to, the people who 1 minute they support me, the next minute they don't, the people who come and go, all this, that, and the third. Because I know at the end of the day, those people are essentially fake. And this is the thing that a lot of you got to understand. They're fake. People only want to hear the convenience of the situation. They're really not built for the struggle. They're not built for it. Show and prove they're not built for it. Because why is it that when you tell them some great stuff, yeah, you walking on roses, you doing great, they're like, yeah, I support you. They're emotional, right? They can even be taken advantage of if you fill them with inspiration and just tell them lies, right? Essentially, about stuff that they want to hear. Because most people will feed you what it is that they will feed you or tell you the feedback loop that they want to hear. They will tell you the inspirational junk that they want to hear. But let it be not real. Let it be a delusion. Let it be, you trying to be truthful, like how I am with my readings. Like how y'all are with your jobs, what y'all do out there, right? What happens? People get upset now. Now people don't want to, they don't, because you spilling negativity out. Let me tell you something. Like I said before, I don't want to say, too much disrespect. I don't want to, you know what I mean? Start getting disrespectful. Start putting people on blast. Look, there's a lot of con artists who are on that love and light kick, because that's not the reality of life. You have to get dark sometimes. Most of the work is done in the darkness. Everybody wants to be in the light and be celebrated, but when are you doing that work? When are you finding out that talent? It's in the dark. As a matter of fact, let me show you how darkness is necessary and how goofy people are who fake, who are overly competitive, who are envious. Darkness is light in its most concentrated. Let me say that one more again. Darkness is actually light in its most concentrated, in its most potent, or one of its more potent, I ain't gonna say most potent, but one of its more potent forms. That is actually darkness. There is particles of light in darkness. That's why you can see in the dark. So all those people who don't want to be on the grind, those people who get angry at y'all, you subscribers who are watching this, they get angry at what it is that you do. They get angry at the progress that you make. They show up and they show fake support. They get mad. They come up with excuses to not rock with you. Whether your job, your family, you know what I'm saying, your friends, the people whom you're dating, they just come up with all sorts of stupid reasons, because it is stupid. All sorts of stupid reasons to not rock with y'all, to not mess with y'all, especially if y'all people are stand-up people, especially if y'all people are decent individuals. You're not a doormat. You're not gonna let people just come around you and step all over you whenever it is that they want something. You have self-respect. Though if people are upset at you for not having self-respect, well then forget about them. Freak them. Those people are low-class trash anyway. The audacity of these individuals for them to be upset at y'all because y'all are not doormats. And this is what I mean when I say that this level of hyper competitiveness, that type of stuff comes from a place of insecurity, because they don't want you to accomplish anything. They want to be the only person at the top. They want you, see, here's the thing, they want you to become strong enough to give them a challenge that they can overcome, because they themselves want to be the ones at the top. But do they actually plan for you to rise to their level and become stronger than them and become better than them? If you want to compare it, even though we don't compare over here, but if you want to, in their minds, this is why it is, excuse me, that I'm phrasing it in that way. It's because in their minds, you're better than them, okay? In their minds, you're competing with them. In their minds, you rose to their level, okay? They don't want you to do that. They want you to be on par, meaning that they want you to be below them considerably, but be strong enough to where people can compare the two of you so that you can essentially prove how greater, so they can prove how greater they are compared to you, because they're comparing themselves. It's a competition game, right? Competition. They're constantly, people who have that envious spirit, constantly comparing themselves. Piece of ice. They're constantly comparing themselves. Why? Because they want that small component. Or I should say, they're more accurately, they're missing that small component, that which makes them whole or greater, which is the ability to be happy with what they got, the ability to not try to compete, the ability to understand that they are accomplished in their own right. And there's only them. That's what it is that they're missing. That's what they're missing. While y'all are cultivating that, you understand that there's only you. It's just you. There's nobody else. It's just you. There is no form, there is no competition. It's not about can the other person lift 200, 300 pounds off of a bench press. No, it's can you do it? Because at the end of the day, if you start bench pressing, it's up to you to lift that. You're the one that's bench pressing. And if you know you can't lift that weight, if you know for a fact that you're not necessarily ready, it's not that you're giving up, it's just that you're not ready for that, then you ought to know yourself to know you shouldn't be trying to step up to lift 300 pounds if you're unsure. Start off lighter. As long as you start, as long as you make steady gains and progress, as long as you're doing it safely, as long as you're giving yourself time to rest, think about it. Fall in love with the thought. I ain't gonna say fall in love, but be in love with the thought, because falling in love and being in love are two different things. Be in love with the thought, then that's what matters. Don't worry about other people. See, other people can only talk that nonsense to you. Other people can really only talk that nonsense to you and stuff like this. Why? They talking that nonsense due to the fact that these are people who they know that they themselves had to start small, but they're trying to goad you into a competition or an area in which they excel from, so that they can embarrass you, because of course they're gonna win. It's their game, you playing. Don't play into other people's games. People who are envious like that, they have such an inflated ego. Their ego is so inflated. Keep grinding. That's why I don't listen to any person who wants to be envious, talk trash. Listen, I know off screen I put in work. I know off screen I put in work. I know on screen I put in work. I know I am who I am off camera. I know I am who I am on camera. This isn't a personality that I had to put on. This is a personality that I have on and off camera. Could speak to the YouTubers who've spoken to me. They'll tell you. If they're being truthful, they'll tell you that I am this. Because the only reason, if they're going to say that's not who I am, they're directly lying to you. I'm in the lab. I'm grinding. You understand? I'm grinding. I'm focused on making the best videos I can for y'all. I'm focused on making sure that I become better with these tarot cards. I'm focused on making my health better. Maximizing on my health. Maximizing on my dollars. That's what I'm focused on. I'm focused on making y'all happy. I'm focused on, even where it seems like y'all are in the dark, y'all can come here to my channel and know, right, that you gonna get helped in some sort of way. It's gonna help y'all improve. You're gonna learn something over here. That's what it is that I encourage over here. It's not only love and light where I'm just filling your head up, gaslighting y'all with that nonsense about non sequiturs or things that are all over the place, things that are just nonsensical. I'm telling y'all a bunch of feel good stuff, but it's not accurate. It doesn't speak to your situation specifically. It's not taken from any kind of real world scenario because it's not real. It's just hypothetical stuff. It does the reading. I'm not doing it to where the reading doesn't make sense halfway through. There are some times that I do have to think about what I'm going to say, but it doesn't mean that I don't know what I am talking about. It's just hard for me to understand sometimes what it is the cards mean to make it relevant to the reading. Doesn't mean that I don't know. It just means I'm trying to figure out how to put words to what it is that I got in my head. Because in my head, I know what it means, but I'm having a problem formulating it to give it the proper wordage. How do you create words to something that's so splendorous or splendid or spiritual or magnificent to the point where it just doesn't connect to who I am on a mundane level? It speaks to who I am, just everything. I'm built for this. And yet you trying to put something so magnificent and glorious in words? How do you build something magnificent like that? And then you have to now regulate it down to just words. It takes me a minute sometimes in order to do that. They don't want you to win.